the reason why I say start it in the winter or start it when it's going to be uncomfortable for you is because if you can get through that, you can get through any time of the year and be able to turn it back on whenever.
Yeah.
And you'd be able to handle any and all kinds
If you fail in any one of these things, you must start from day one. So if you're on day 37, if you're on day 50, if you're on day 74, if you don't complete all of these tasks in full by the end of your day, you fail. Now, this is also a program many people have tried. Many people have failed. So when Saj and I completed this, there was an absolute sense of achievement for sure.
Yeah, venture hustles, life is really what you make it. Building up your brand is whatever you create it. Really ain't no limit. You just gotta love it. Working day and night, it's all about the venture hustle. Hey, venture hustles. Time to take it to the next level. Let's go.
Welcome to the Venture Hustles podcast. I am Saj and this is Jack. We are your co-hosts of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to your weekly dose of anything tech, startup, entrepreneurship, and self-help improvement when it comes to lifestyle, fitness, physical. And today we're right online with a really important and special and close to the heart topic for both me and Jack.
Oh, yeah.
75 hard. Now, I think you should set us up, I guess.
Yeah, super excited to have this conversation with you. For those of you that watched our kickoff episode, we spoke, about this, not in length, but we definitely did mention it just because, again, it's at the top of our mind. Had a really dramatic impact on both Saj and I. So again, we're so excited to talk about this, what it's done for us, what it is, why we would recommend doing it, and what's next. So let's just kind of hop in. And do you want to just give the people some information about what 75 hard is here?
Let's dive into that. So 75 hard, me and Jack just completed it. It's a 75-day challenge. So if this is the first time that you've ever heard the phrase 75 hard, or you don't really know what it is, let me set this up for you. 75 hard is a 75-day nonstop challenge or a program. The creator of the challenge, Andy Frisella, doesn't really like to call it a challenge. Now, what this program really does is this isn't just a fitness program. It's a mental fortitude and fitness program, all combined. It's mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
And the way this works is in every single day for 75 days straight, there's certain tasks and things that you have to do that are all focused and centered around you improving your lifestyle, your habits, and health, and just both mental and physical.
Yes.
So some of the things are drinking a gallon of water every day, reading a book, 10 pages every day, and it has to be a self-improvement book. It cannot be
nothing fictional,
Twilight or Harry Potter. You have to do one indoor workout, minimum, 45 minutes duration. One outdoor workout, same thing, 45-minute duration. Terms with the indoor is it could be you doing squats at home,
anything,
or any sort of workout that's actually breaking a sweat. Outdoor, same thing. You can do calisthenics, you can work out, jog, bike, swim, whatever it is, whatever's considered a workout, not something leisurely.
For 45 minutes.
For 45 minutes. You have to have a diet that is aligned with your goals. And there are no cheat days, no cheat meals, no alcohol. Meaning, if your diet is you need to stay under a 1,800 calorie deficit, you cannot go 1 calorie over that. If your diet says you can't have any sugar, you can't just one day go and touch and eat a piece of cracker or like a chocolate biscuit, right? Something that has sugar or candy. Even if it's tiny, minuscule, you have to be very principled,
very detail-oriented, very anal with in regards to the details and the tasks that need to be completed. No variation or waiver.
Correct. And similarly, if you're drinking a gallon of water, a lot of people try to find loopholes and they say that, hey, but I drink coffee and it's in water based, or I take pre-workout and put my powder in 500 milliliters of water bottle, right? And basically, that doesn't count.
No.
Water means water. It's pure, 100% pure water. If you're taking pre-workout, post-workout, whatever it is, protein shakes, none of that counts. The only thing that's going to count towards your water intake is pure water. Similarly, if you're drinking an ounce less than your target, it doesn't count. You fail. So if you fail in any one of these things, what happens, Shaq?
If you fail in any one of these things, you must start from day one. So if you're on day 37, if you're on day 50, if you're on day 74, if you don't complete all of these tasks in full by the end of your day, you fail. Now, this is also a program many people have tried. Many people have failed. So when Saj and I completed this, there was an absolute sense of achievement for sure, which was great, and we'll talk about. But again, from a requirement standpoint, that's kind of what we're looking at here. And again, the most important thing is there is no variation. It's very structured and rigid. What you see is what you must do, point blank, period.
Yeah. So what we just covered is the requirements and what the program is about,
Yeah.
right? And so basically everything that we said, and of course, I would highly recommend if anybody is intrigued by this. I mean, we haven't really covered our progress and our results, what it did for our physical and mental, which we're about to. But if you're already locked in from what we're saying, then my biggest recommendation would be to read the 75 Hard book that Andy Frisella wrote.
Mm-hmm.
There are free versions online, but you can just to support the guy, you should buy it because this is a really good book to have a piece of copy around. And it's a really short read.
Yeah.
And so let's dive into why we did this. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I guess from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I read the 75 Hard book in September of last year, 2022.
Okay.
And when I read it was a really quick read. I read it in like 2 days,
Okay.
3 days, super fast. It kind of just hooked me. And when I read it, I was like, man, I need this. I need to do this. And I spoke to you about it
Mm-hmm.
right around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a pretty big injury. I tore my MCL in October. And when I tore my MCL, I was basically out of commission for several like weeks,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2-3 months even. And I was waiting to get to a point of health where I could go to my doctor and get clearance of whether I can do something this intensive or not. But I think when I came to you and we talked about this, you were on the same page as me, and you didn't really give me any hesitation or any pushback as far as I remember. So why did I want to do this? I've been super out of shape. If you watch any videos from season 1, you're going to see why. And being so overweight and out of shape, living an unhealthy lifestyle, it has a ripple effect to so many different things
Mm-hmm.
that could go wrong. And I am personally involved in so many different ventures and different avenues that health had to be prioritized for me to do things more effectively and make sure that I live a long life, because otherwise I wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the reasons are all there. I just had to make it happen.
Correct.
And I guess when I told you this, why did you, because at that point you hadn't read the book.
Mm-hmm.
But you heard the idea and you've heard about the program.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the first one that told you this, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
So why did you want to do this?
I wanted to do 75 Hard for a couple of reasons. Number one was, when I was a little bit younger, I was in great shape when I was playing sports. And then over the years, just really, I've pretty much just been in grind mode, with working and just trying to build my career. And, essentially the gym really wasn't a priority. I knew that when I went back, I wanted to get back. But when I did, I have been telling myself, Jack, when you get back, you have to full send it. You have to be 100% committed. You have to, and pretty much full send it. That's it. No excuses kind of thing.
Love that.
And, between, James and some family members, like, Jack, when are you going to get back in the gym? When are you going to go? When are you going to go? I can remember James saying, Jack, come to the gym with me. I'm going on Saturday in the morning. It's like, nah, bro, like,
Yeah.
I got to sleep. And also keeping in mind, last year was a very chaotic year for Saj and I. But even outside of that, I had been telling myself, okay, when I make that decision to go, I'm going. So when Saj and I were speaking about this, and I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect because number one, this is exactly what I was looking for in regards to intensity of just very intense regimen. Number two, I thought that we spend a lot of time together, and from an accountability standpoint, it would be perfect. And then number three, we got a gym right in our parking lot where the office is, where the HQ is. So all the stars were aligned.
Excuses eliminated.
It was a perfect fit. So to kind of pick up where you left off, kind of started to discuss it briefly in September, then revisit it more intensely towards November. And then we're like, okay, we're going to start it in the beginning of next year.
Yeah. So we had set that, and I was still in recovery. And basically going back, I went and talked to my doctor in January. I said, hey, doc, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do an intense 75 hard program. It's going to require me to work out twice a day, inside and outside. I'm most likely going to run or bike for my outside. Inside, I can control kind of what I'm doing. I gave him all the elements, and he said, okay, this is XYZ. This is what you can do considering you messed up your MCL.
Yeah.
And I followed that to the T, and I said, okay, cool. So I was like, can I do this? He's like, yeah, you can. All right. So then I came back to you. I told you, what do we do? What do we do?
That day, we pretty much booked the start of this thing that Monday.
We just sent it.
Literally. We got everything. I remember you had to get some you wanted to buy a couple of things, water bottle and stuff. And, for me, in that kind of capacity, I'm more of, I don't really need much. I just need to kind of get it going.
No, but I appreciate you pushing me, man, because I brought the idea to you. We locked out that we were going to do this no matter what. But then you get lethargic, right? When you get this injury, you just had an injury. You know how it feels. You were out of commission for 3 weeks. You didn't come to the gym. But when that happened, like, you feel like, shit, man, I got an excuse. I got a reason. I need to nurse my knee.
Yeah.
And I did that. But then I remember the month of January, you were on my case. When are we starting, bro? I'm like, bro, I still got this injury. I can't. And then I said, you know what? Then it made me proactively go and get verified by the doctor. And that helped. See, that's why you need an accountability partner, especially if you're not mentally active. We push each other, like in both cases. I've been on his case ever since he's been out of commission. I'm like, when is your leg going to be good? When are you coming back to the gym? When are we doing this? But anyway, we set a date.
So we start
February 13th.
Yeah.
We lock it in. We didn't fail. And basically, I guess, how do we prepare for this from a equipment standpoint? We just got a gym membership. We literally
went on that Friday before the weekend. On Friday, Saj and I walked across the parking lot, went in, signed up. And the guy's like, "Oh, like you guys excited about blah 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 blah." And Saj and I like, "Yeah, like we're really excited. We're actually doing this challenge 75 hard." And he's like, "Oh, like good luck, all this different stuff." We're like, "Yeah, we'll see you on Monday." We game planned
to start on Monday, and we did. And in terms of other stuff, we Amazon whatever we needed. I got a giant 1 gallon jug. I can post a picture here. I think we should post and share as much as what we'd done. So just to kind of show how smooth the process was.
Yeah.
For me, the other thing was, like, there were going to be days where I would have to go to the gym without Jack, my accountability or training partner. And he would have to go solo himself. So I wanted to eliminate any and every excuse that I possibly could have to show up to the gym. So one of the things I got a lock for the gym. Something that I know I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I kept my stuff overnight at the gym. So I had my spare clothes, my extra water bottle, some extra clothes, some towels, some sandals, my running shoes, all of that in the gym already. So if I showed up without any clothes or anything, I mean, obviously with whatever I'm wearing, but no spare clothes, I can still get a full workout in. That was my mindset going in, starting probably right after the first week. It was since second week on, it was like that. And shout out to my wife, Sarah. That was her idea, and I didn't really even think about it until she told me. So she told me, and then I was like, wow, this is genius. I told her, like, these are my struggles. So whatever your problems are, I would say, figure out how to make that not a problem anymore. Meaning, like, whatever you can do to make it easier and give you the realization that, this is not an excuse for me anymore, do it. So I eliminated my problems and my issues very early on, personally. And what else did we do?
Well, that, but then also just to kind of take a step back a bit, is Saj and I are very, very busy. So not only did we obviously have to prepare, with regards to, buying physical items and, the locker thing, but from a scheduling standpoint, like Saj and I had to be very, very structured. So what we wind up doing was, let's say that first Monday, you're literally at the gym at 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking to a person that does not really like to get up that early. On the weekends, I'm sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so we get there, go work out from pretty much 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And that's all in with working out, sauna, shower, anything else that we're doing.
Yeah.
Coming to the office, having a full work day
Mm-hmm.
of potentially 8 to 10 hours,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even more.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get home, what do you got to do? You got to now do your outdoor for 45 minutes.
So we did that for 6 weeks, I believe, straight. That schedule
Just
was
about
about six.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit more. I think towards the end is when we switched the schedule.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why we did it, but it was for
At first, we decided just to test it.
yeah. But I think it was something caused us to change the schedule. Anyway, but what Jack said is, yeah, from day one, for 6 weeks straight, we woke up whatever time you have to wake up to show up at the gym at 8,
Mm-hmm.
get it done. Our office opens a little bit later than normal office because we accommodate West Coast time as well. So we've always been opening at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave us a little bit more wiggle room to be able to show up and still have a full day. But our gym's right there. We can see it from
From
here.
the studio here, yeah.
So that's one less excuse. And we got it done, man. I mean,
Well, also keeping in mind, right? So just to kind of give you guys like an idea as to what the day looked like for those 75 days.
Yeah.
One workout in the morning. So
Mhm.
for this kind of where we are now in the conversation,
mm-hmm,
lifting weights
mm-hmm,
in the morning, full work day, let's say till 7 or 8 o'clock at night,
mm-hmm.
get home, then do your outdoor. Keep in mind, we're in February and March. It was very cold. And
Most of February.
And when it was raining, it was even colder. We did get lucky though with no snow. I think there's one day where it was a little bit of snow.
There was a little bit of snow. I remember biking in it.
Yeah, I
remember thinking like it was a bad idea.
Jesus.
But there was a nor'easter one
Mhm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
There was like sleet
Mhm.
one time. I mean,
We got very lucky though. In
there was not a big blizzard, no.
no.
So, but the thing is though, the program is structured so that even if there's a blizzard,
Does
and you
not matter.
you have to. So, from my perspective, it's exactly what you said. I think, if you're gonna do this, guys, and you're thinking about when to do it, start in the winter. Start. Don't look for an easy way out.
No, just start.
Just start. Like, no, actually put yourself through that.
Mhm.
Because the fact that me and Jack did this in the heart of the winter was really, really cold. Every day that we did our outdoor exercises, me and Jack did it outside after work. We went home and we did it. I mean, dude, we were doing this at what, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
9, 10, 11.
Sometimes I had to do it at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., depending on how crazy the day
But also
got.
keeping in mind, there's the other 3 to 4 things that we have to do. Reading.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to eat healthy.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you finish that gallon of water. So
Yeah.
by the end of the day, when you get in bed 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning,
Yep.
it's like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got to wake up super early and the cycle restarts again. And you
Mhm.
got to do the 75 days nonstop. Now, we did this rain, shine, snow, sleet, whatever.
Yeah.
I could tell you that the reason why I say start it in the winter or start it when it's going to be uncomfortable for you is because if you can get through that, you can get through any time of the year and be able to turn it back on whenever.
Yeah.
And you'd be able to handle any and all kinds of, like, you will be doing things so much easier. At least that's how it is for me right now. I've completed 75 hard and I'm about to complete. I'm in the last 3 days of phase 1, which is the next thing after 75 hard in the Live Hard program. And this is going like a breeze for me. Even on really busy days, I'm getting things done and I'm not complaining. But, and it has a lot more things to do than 75 hard. But I could tell you that it pushed us to the limit.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, at the end of the day, it definitely was not it wasn't all, sunshine and rainbows
Mm-hmm.
by any means. There were days that were absolutely, positively horrible.
Let's start
Horrible.
reverse, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about our worst experiences, the hardest things that we've each personally experienced. And I know
Okay.
that we have some similarities, but let's
Okay.
air that out, and then we'll talk about the good things because
Okay.
let's get the bad things out of the way.
Okay. I would say I don't remember the particular day, but it was around there was really 2 points for me. It
Yeah.
was day 74,
Okay.
and then yours was pretty much right after that.
I can't believe day 74 was like that for you.
Day 70, well, you know what it was?
What?
Well, before that, it was day 74 and then like day 50-ish. But so let's, I guess, talk about day 74. Day 74 was like horrible for me because like Saj and I made like an agreement that the last week we were just going to absolutely,
I forgot what it was.
Like send it as much as like, say like this is like a send. Saj and I, okay, we're gonna send here.
I mean,
like,
we were
all out.
We were okay. I remember what you're talking about. We pushed ourselves to the limit, like we were training for a world championship belt.
Like it was like, you know, the gas tank is on E as I'm pulling into my driveway. Like we're not talking quarter tank, almost on E. It's completely empty. So day 74. You know, day 74 was a Thursday, right? And we did, so Thursday is normally our back and bicep day. So I can remember I was doing the heaviest weight that I've done up until that point. And, you know, from a workout regimen standpoint, typically Saj and I would do 4 sets for 12 reps. So I'm pushing the heaviest weight.
I mean, day 70, what the day you're talking about is probably it was a 3-hour regimen.
Yes.
It was a 3-hour circuit.
Mm-hmm.
And we started off with what you're saying.
So that was the weightlifting part. And then Saj and I did 35 minutes in the sauna, which was also the highest that we've ever done. And then we went in the pool and did, I don't even remember how many
25,
laps.
30.
25 laps, I think, was kind of like what the mark we wanted to hit.
We kept pushing it.
I was in that pool like I was half there mentally, just pushing. And, you know, again, made it home. So I have around a half-hour drive or so from, you know, kind of like our HQ here. So on the way home, I'm just like, you know, Jack, you just got to get there. Just got to get there. Tomorrow's the last day. So that was, you know, one of the tougher days for me personally. And then the other tough day was around day 50 where, you know, it was really for me just more about, you know, it was one of those days where I just didn't want to do shit. I didn't want to do it, you know, and those are the days where it's like, yo, like, Saj, I don't really want to fucking do this shit. And it's like, yo, like, it doesn't matter how you feel. You do it.
Yep.
You agree to do it. Just get it done. So for me, those were kind of probably like some of the 2 more, you know, most challenging points in the challenge. You know, I know you had your fair share of bad days, let's say, as well. I mean,
yeah, if we're talking bad days, it's
Yeah.
pretty similar in terms of like what it was. I think for me it was I forget when it was. I had sometime in the 40s or the 50s where I was legitimately feeling like I was gonna fail, and I spoke to you and you're like, yo, call me if you need to. Day 51. I mean, it was really, really like my memories, you know, it's been so many days right now. And at this point, like, I don't remember what exactly caused that. But I remember that it was a ripple effect of the amount of things that we were going through and all of the things and how drained I felt that day. And I just couldn't, like, I was like, I can't do this workout. Like I can't go outside. I can't get it done today. And then I just got up and did it. You just have to go up, show up, turn up. That's it. And then once you're outside, once you're in the motion of things, you get it done.
Yep.
But I remember posting about it. I remember talking about it because that was raw, like how I felt, man. And my Instagram stories, like I was like, this is a good time for me to document this because I need to be able to look back at my lowest point. So if you watch back that story on my Instagram, there's a 75 hard thing. If you click it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because it tells you the day. And that tells you exactly why I was feeling that way. So that might be a little good like link back for some reason.
Yeah.
If you're interested in learning why. But that was a really difficult time for me. The other time was, I would say around the day 74. But I wouldn't even say that wasn't because I didn't want to do it or I thought I would fail. That was because I pushed myself to an extreme, just like you did, to the point where you had to get out of the pool to get me water because I looked pale, like I looked like I was gonna pass out. No, that was facts, Shapes. He was like, dude,
I'm like,
I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need water. He
good.
emptied his own water jug and hopped out of the pool, got me some water. I appreciate that. And he was like, you do not look, but we still finished our laps.
Yeah.
This is where it got bad for me. Ready? I told you this, didn't I? I got in the car after we're done. We cleaned up, we showered. to go home. Luckily, I live 6 minutes away. But I got in the car and started heading home. And it's dark, right? We're talking about it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And once I got into the alleys, I could feel my leg going numb, and I could feel my blind spots going dark to the point where I know I was about to pass out. And my hands were shaking, so I flooded. I hit the gas, broke every stop sign.
Really smart.
Got home, and as soon as I got into my kitchen, my dining table, because my food was already ready and my girl was there, and my hands were shaking like this when I was trying to hit the fork and get the chicken breast. I couldn't control it. Like it was, I think I was just completely dehydrated.
Well, so for context here, right? So you can continue. This was the day that Saj said, okay, I'm going to drink all my water, but I'm only going to eat like 500 calories worth of food.
Yeah.
Right. So doing one of the hardest workouts you've ever done, not only from an intensity standpoint, but from a length standpoint. And then combining that with literally only giving your body 500 calories.
I mean, I had targets to meet.
This is the result.
So the day before or the week before, I told you what my goals were. I told you I needed to drop 3 to 4 pounds.
4 pounds or 5 pounds, yeah.
I said I have 7 days. I need to hit my target. And I've done it before during the 75 hard, but it's at a point you start plateauing, and I was starting to plateau. I was like, I don't care if my legs bleed. I don't care if I lose a toe. I was dead serious. I was like, I don't care what physical damage I put in. I am pushing to the limit on everything that I do this week for me to hit that target. I did hit it. I hit it. It almost cost me, but you know what? Sometimes it's good for you to figure out, like at least for me, sometimes it's good for you to know how much can you push, how much your body can take.
Yeah.
And that showed me a lot of things. I know my limits now to that degree, and I know those limits can be increased and can get better.
Yeah.
You know, because I know what's that point that gets you there. But the reality is this, right? We did it. We hit it.
Full sent it.
And in general, though, what was the one thing you disliked? I guess let's talk about that.
About what I didn't like about 75 hard?
Yeah. What was like what would you say is the biggest con for you in general?
The biggest con, I don't really know if there's like a con, like, because for me, it's like part of the challenge.
Okay.
Right. But if we're talking about maybe some of the thing I hated most about the challenge, I would probably say the outdoor workout.
Okay.
I, was not a big fan of that, like by any means.
Yeah.
For the first half of the challenge, I was going on runs. I started with a mile, pretty much progressed to almost 3 miles for the first couple of weeks. And then at one point I was like, okay, fuck this. And then I just pretty much started doing calisthenics outside, push-ups, leg lifts, planks,
you just didn't like
sit-ups,
doing the miles.
Yeah. I mean, again, even just like the whole outside, like vibe, it wasn't my favorite thing to do, but that's kind of how I felt about it. Why? What are your thoughts?
It was the same thing. It wasn't because I didn't like walking, or I mean, I hate doing like walking or running. That's my least favorite type of cardio. I love swimming. If there was an outdoor swim option in the winter, I would do it, but it's not possible.
Okay.
But the only other alternative for me to like what I was doing and actively be physically active was biking. And I basically transitioned to that. But I started doing more jogs and walks as the 75-day program progressed for me.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was struggling and hurting and suffering more, and that's what I wanted to do as the program like I didn't want it to get easier. I wanted to get harder, and I wanted to push myself because I was like, I got a lot to lose, man. I mean, literally, I had a lot of weight to lose, and I needed to push it to the boundary. So even though I hated those workouts, that was my goal. But it would be the same thing for me. The outdoor workouts were a tragedy because we did it in really cold weather.
Yeah. But even in the morning time, at one point we switched to morning where we did outdoor in the morning, like kind of solo. And then after the workday, Saj and I went to the gym. That's currently the schedule we've been following for probably the last, we're in June.
Yeah.
For the last 3-4 months.
So then the other thing for me was like, I didn't want to buy another bike. And the only bike that I have, my mountain bike broke. So the only bike I can use is my Super 73, which is a semi-electric, full electric, or non-electric. it's a fat tire bike, meaning if you were to pedal it with all the modes off, which is how I used it, the only time I would turn it on would be just for the light for nighttime bikes. But if you pedal it, you can put it on a 0 mode. And it is one of the hardest bikes to pedal. You've done it because the fat tire bike, you have like it's hardcore.
It's just a lot of traction.
And the other thing that I didn't like about it was when you bike, you've got a cold wind hitting your face to the point where I had to buy a balaclava, like a full ski mask, looking like I was going to rob people when I would bike at night. And
facts. Even when I was running at one point, it's like, oh my God, I'm putting my hood on. It's like, this isn't doing anything.
Do what you got to do to get yourself there. But,
so would you say that your overall feeling about the program is positive?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Easily, right?
I mean,
completely agree.
There are more pros than cons. The cons are just your inner bitch voice.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Andy typically refers to.
Well, no, that's the program. Like literally one of the biggest things that he says in the book, and whether you like that word or not, in this context, get used to it. It's your boss voice and your bitch voice. The boss voice, and we should talk about this. The boss voice is basically, like the bitch voice is basically, oh man, it's cold. It's fine.
It's the I'm cold voice. It's the you're on the 4th set and you should be doing 12 reps, but it's the voice in your head that's saying only do 10 or only do 11.
Yep.
It's the voice that says let's only do sauna for 5 minutes instead of 20.
Yep.
That's the bitch voice.
That's the bitch voice. And the boss voice says, no, we're doing it. So I'm not really the best at explaining this. I think definitely read the book. Definitely read what Andy, listen to his podcast, and shout out Andy Frisella for creating 75 Hard.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think it changed my life. I think it changed the trajectory of my health and mental.
Yes.
And I think I want to talk about that next, which is the mental, right?
Okay.
I think physically, I felt amazing.
Yes.
I know you did, and we're going to talk about our results and transformation. But from a mental standpoint, man, like Jack said, we are incredibly occupied people, right? Meaning like we are always doing something. We try to stay busy when it comes to work. We have a packed schedule. We are not people that loiter around and waste time, even on weekends and even after work.
It's just involved in so many different things.
But considering our lifestyle and everything, I personally needed I needed something like a boot camp, and this was it. That was going to whip me back to normal. But the only person that can get me there is me.
Yeah.
100% having an accountability partner and someone that you can work out with, and all of this helps. But at the end of the day, if I didn't want to commit or you didn't want to commit, it wouldn't have happened.
It's you versus you.
Yeah, that's it.
Every time, every day, every minute, every section, it's always you versus you. No one can want it more than you. That's really what it comes down to, and that doesn't just go for this challenge. That goes for anything.
Yeah, I think 100% life changing. I think I was mentally more happier, and be able to handle things a lot better, and just more centered, more calm, and be able to execute more efficiently while handling the world. And what would you say?
I mean, overall feelings about the 75 Hard program is life changing. It can absolutely change your life if you let it. And this is definitely one of those things where if you're 99% in, you're 100% out. And the fact is, it can change your life, and you have to want to do it. You have to want to suffer. Today, like Saj had mentioned, I got a really bad ankle injury, and I wasn't able to go to the gym for probably like about 3 weeks and I was telling Saj, I'm like, I want to go into the gym and like actually suffer. I'm like, I need to absolutely suffer. Like, I want to be in a place where when I get in there, by the time I'm 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the workout, like I actually want to leave, because that's how hard like I'm pushing.
And then yesterday at the gym, you were like, do I look pale? Because you were feeling a little sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's
because
okay.
the minute you walk out or your day's over and you get in bed, it's like, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's literally how it should be.
18 hours of work for legitimately that one moment. It's like, I did a productive day. Let's go.
Yeah.
On to the next.
100%. I think that there's so much that we can talk about regarding 75. We're a little short on time, so maybe in the future we can do a part 2. to to elaborate on for example, I think I personally have a lot of tips and tricks that people can implement to get things done more efficiently that I'd like to talk about.
Sure.
Things that we did to adopt and enhance the experience.
Sure.
I think maybe in the future we can dive into it. Maybe we can do a 75 hard part 2 and phase 1 episode once you're done.
Okay.
You know,
that's not a bad idea.
Because you're started or you're about to start phase 1.
Starting on Monday.
I'm about to end on Tuesday. So Jack will be done in 30 days. So we could probably release an episode in maybe
in about 30 days.
In 30 days. Yeah, we can recap because I think that'd be really good to kind of continue what we're on next.
For sure.
So on that note, what are we doing now? We're from a program perspective. I love being in a program. I think
it's not the same if you're not.
It's not the same if you're not. And I think one of the things that we were going to talk about was what sacrifices that need to be made when you're doing 75 hard. And that's, I think for me, I think my family definitely took a big hit during the process because I just wasn't around. If I was home, I was doing a billion things to accommodate for this, or I'm going out doing my outdoor workout. It affects you, especially when you start, because you're getting adjusted. What about you?
I would say time from, family, yes, but also like friends and essentially just all free time. Because at the end of the day,
do you regret it though?
No, I mean, not even in the slightest. We'll be doing it again, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, now that so let's talk about results here as we start to kind of wrap up. This episode here of about 75 hard. Talk to me more about your results, Mr. Saj.
So okay. So 75 hard. We started on February 13th of 2023, and we completed on April 28th. That's 75 days straight. From a physical transformation perspective, I've got my stats here really quick. On day 1, so I'm not gonna reveal the exact weight yet because I'm still on that journey, but I think I will at the end of phase 1. But from a body fat percentage,
sure,
I was at 41.1% body fat. When I completed it, I came down to 33.9%. So that's about 7.2% loss.
Insane.
In body fat. From a weight perspective, I lost 41.1 pounds in the 75 days.
Hell yeah. And
there's been a lot more since I'm almost down 60 now since I started.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
way to go.
It's been kind of crazy, man. And from a mental perspective, stats wise, it's been life changing. We just talked about it. So, what about you, Mr. Jack? What are your stats?
My stats here would be as follows. So when we started, I had about 16% body fat, and I weighed about 179 pounds. By the time I was finished, I had a body fat percentage of 10%.
Yeah.
And then weighed about 174. So I pretty much dropped a couple pounds, dropped the fat, put on some muscle, and there really wasn't much left outside of that. And just felt so good, to be honest. When you go through these kinds of transformations, not only does it have a physical impact, but like you mentioned before, just a mental impact as well, where your tolerance for stress increases, your tolerance for capacity increases, you feel good, your confidence is up, because I feel as if confidence has a lot to do with pretty much just your internal self and the relationship with your internal self. And when you're in a place where you actually start to keep promises that you make to yourself every single day, you're in a place that you feel as if you can do anything. And so that's kind of what the 75 hard program does for people, is you have 75 days that you actually kept. What is it? About 7 promises that you made to yourself.
Yeah.
Every single day.
It's building habit.
75 days. So by the time you're on that 76th day, it's like, what's next? What can I do? So that was kind of like the biggest thing for me, I'd say.
Dude, I honestly didn't know. We'll wrap this up here, right? But I honestly didn't know what it would do for me. I just knew that it was going to be good, and I was excited. I like doing crazy shit. Like, I have always liked to make myself push things to the limit, right? Yeah. But from a physical, like overall program standpoint, I've never really done something this intense. But man, it's incredible. I wouldn't change it for the world. I felt 75 hard. The program definitely changed my life in terms of just everything. It just put a lot of things into focus. So I would highly
Why should people do it?
It's transformative. That's the only way I can describe it. It is. You won't know what it's like until you finish it. And if you don't finish it and you fail, do it again until you finish it. You fail again, do it again until you finish it. Experience the 75 days to the fullest, exactly the way it's supposed to be done. That's why you should finish it. Because what's on the other side, I promise you that I don't think there's a single human being that's completed it that's ever said it's not been transformative.
Yeah.
You know, I really want to do that other episode because I want to cover things on how we've applied some of these things into our professional life, because that's the brand of Venture Hustles. And I think there's so many things we can tap into.
Okay.
And also, of course, tips and tricks and then what's next.
Sure.
Because we are doing 75 hard again in September. That's the game plan. We have a big group of people. We have mad people. Since we started this and posted on social media, I've had 4 or 5 people that have already started their own journey and been keeping me tabs on it. Two of them actually are actively doing it right now. So it's pretty phenomenal. And honestly, I'm glad we were able to move some people to do this. And we're starting a club called 75 Hard Club. It'll be free. And if anything, it'll be sponsored and juiced up by Mr. Jack and me, for people to be able to get some sort of a reward for doing something that's life changing. That should be the reward alone. But we're gonna give a little bit of added incentive. We're gonna make a private club. So if you're interested, talk to us. Let us know.
Send us a DM, whether it's on Venture Hustles or on
my Instagram or our
Instagrams. But get involved. There is a good list or good group already. But we want as many people as possible
to join. It'll change your life.
It's going to be a great kind of group to be a part of. It's going to be super positive, super, encouraging. So
I think it's going to be really, really good to, when we do the next episode on this, to perhaps bring somebody on that's on the
that's doing it right now.
That's doing it right now, maybe. Okay. Or someone that has done it really well in the past, other than us. And then we also introduce where people can join the 75 Hard Club, because we haven't really figured out the logistics yet. We just know we want to do it. Yeah. So I think that'll be a good episode to kind of air. I think we can probably do that in like July or August.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. 100%. So as we start to wrap up here, end all be all, if you're going to get one thing out of this episode for today, push yourself. Just do it. I'm not trying to promote Nike here, but just do it. Legitimately, just do it. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Do it, and you'll figure it out along the way. And, again, as always, we appreciate everyone that is listening. Appreciate everyone that is watching. If you have any questions or any inquiries, let us know. We'd be happy to help and talk with you guys, as much as possible. So no matter where we are, enjoy the day or night, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, venture hustles, life is really what you make it. Building up your brand is whatever you create it. Really ain't no limit. You just gotta love it. Working day and night, it's all about the venture hustle. Hey, venture hustles. Time to take it to the next level. Let's go.